Welcome to 365 Language Planet. Do you love learning and using languages? If you do, the Language Study Club live stream is for you. In this live stream, you can share and create sentences in any language with study buddies. The live stream is from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time most nights. I hope to enjoy learning and using languages with you there. Now, I have a very big announcement to make. The Let's Speak podcast will be partnering with the RSU PAL Center of Ransit University International College in Bangkok, Thailand, to do live shows with university students who can share their experiences and knowledge with the viewers of this show. Our joint shows will be June 15th, June 22nd, July 6th, July 13th, and July 20th. The theme of our first show together is my hometown. And to discuss this theme with us is Joanna. Okay. Hi, Joanna.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining the show tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad to be joining this event.
Oh, great. So, before we start, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I am Joanna and I come from Mandalay, Myanmar, but I am currently studying ICT at Thailand.
It sounds exciting. Well, let's begin the show. So, the first question is, my favorite hometown spot is the top of a hill called the Butte. How about you? 日本語で
For me,
私の故郷のお気に入りの場所は The Butte と呼ばれる丘の頂上です。あなたはどうですか? And here's a picture of my hometown, Bend, Oregon. In the background, you can see the Butte. Yeah, so from the top of the Butte, the view is very beautiful. So that's my favorite spot in my hometown. But how about you? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. You have 4 minutes. Alright? Okay, so Joanna, how about you? What's your favorite hometown spot?
so for me, I come from Mandalay, Myanmar, which is in the middle of the country Myanmar. We used to be a royal capital back in a really long time ago in history. So we used to have kings and queens. So there is a palace, an ancient palace in the middle of our city. So most tourists and other countries know it as the Mandalay Palace, and it's surrounded by a moat. So that is my favorite place in my hometown.
Well, actually, I have a picture of it right here. Mandalay, Myanmar. And the arrow is pointing to Mandalay Palace. I guess this is the English name. How do you call it in your language?
Oh, it's basically the translation of palace in Burmese in Myanmar. So we call it Nandol. But to make it short, we usually call it Jong, which means moat, because it's surrounded by a moat.
Well, it's from, this picture. It looks stunningly beautiful. So I really hope I can go there.
Yeah, I hope everyone can visit it one day.
Yeah, great. Okay. So, how about the audience? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. What is your favorite hometown spot? Joanna, what do you like to do at the Mandalay Palace?
We can. It's quite a tourist attraction. So we have a lot of tourists at this place. So you could inside the palace there are a lot of ancient photographs and where the kings and queens used to live. So you can't really take pictures, but you could uh, visit this place and learn about the history of the hometown. And also around the palace, outside near the moat, you could ride your bikes or you could just stroll along. And it's a really nice view because near it we have the Mandalay Hill. So it's just really such a sight to see.
Sounds so wonderful. Well, someday. I hope someday. Hey, well, why don't you guys, the audience, please tell us what is your favorite hometown spot? You can write your answer in English, Japanese, Thai, and it's up to you. It might be very difficult for me to read, but uh, in the comments, what is your favorite hometown spot? If you have one. I know Japan, there are a lot of temples and shrines, and so some people like those spots. All right. We have a comment. I can't read the name, but it says, I'm from Mandalay. So it is the place I got. Sounds, maybe, I don't know, but I'm guessing. Well, anyways, thank you so much for joining the show. Do you have a lot of classmates from Mandalay? Joanna?
Oh, classmates from Mandalay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of people from different parts of Myanmar, and since we're international college here, we have Bhutanese people, Cambodian people as well. So I do meet a lot of people from Mandalay too. Yeah.
Well, so far there's two tonight. Oh, we got K Workshop says, Hi, Joanna. Nice to meet you. My favorite hometown spot is the banks of the Tone River. I often ride an off-road motorcycle there. Sounds great. Kan Mama says, my favorite hometown spot is Kannon Mountain. Takasaki Kannon is very beautiful. So Kannon Mountain it's kind of like a hill in Guma that has a very big statue on top of the hill. Uh, this statue, Kannon, kind of a Buddhist god or spirit. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining the show tonight. Please continue, and you can share your answers anytime during the show. Now, let's move on to the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. You have 4 minutes. Question to Joanna, to me, to both of us. Anything is okay. Getting hot. How about you,
Yeah.
Joanna?
It's really hot here in Thailand as
Yeah.
well.
Do you have an air conditioner?
I do have an air conditioner. Yeah. I do have a fan too.
You have fans? Yes, I have a fan as well recently, which is very nice. Okay. Hiromi Okada, thank you for joining tonight's show. She says, hometown as my birthplace was Otaku, Tokyo. My favorite place is Haneda International Airport. That's very beautiful, especially in the night view. By the way, it's nice to meet you, Joanna.
Nice to meet you too.
Charming says, nice to meet you as well. That's great. if you guys have a question, you're welcome to ask Joanna a question. She's a university student in Bangkok, Thailand. Guessing about a sophomore.
Yeah, I am a sophomore.
Yes, that's great. And if you're having trouble to think of a question, we actually have some prepared. If you can see, they're kind of small. Right, Takesh has a question. He says, "Are there any places you would like to visit in Japan?" I'll let you answer that question, Joanna.
Oh, Japan. I really do want to visit Japan because I used to have friends that went to Japan that to attend university. So I do want to go to Japan, but I don't know that many places. Um, I want to go to Tokyo and I forgot the names, but yeah, basically Tokyo because I feel like it's really diverse and I've seen pictures of it online and it looks really cool.
Yo, I've been there a few times. It is you can I think you could spend probably a month in Tokyo to like see all the places. It's crazy big. Charming says my favorite hometown spot is Mount Fuji. I was born in Yamanashi Prefecture. That's great. I guess I'm sure you know Mount Fuji, of course.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a very it's a beautiful mountain, but it's sometimes hard to get like to get a good view of it because of the weather.
oh,
It's a lot of cloudy days. It's so high that the clouds block the view a lot.
I see.
But if you come to Japan, one place I recommend is Fuji-Q Highland.
Oh,
Yes,
okay. Is it like kind of like a mountain or
it's a
highland?
amusement park. That has
Oh,
biggest roller coasters.
okay. I will keep that in mind and I'll go there when I visit Japan.
Okay. All right. It says, how do you feel about the weather in Japan? Um, yeah, so actually, Joanna is joining us from like Bangkok, I think, right?
Yeah, Bangkok.
Yeah,
Right.
so she's in Bangkok. I'm in Japan. I guess I'll answer this question. I don't. I, how do you feel? I How can I say nicely? Not so happy with the weather in Japan these days. It's very, very, very humid. Okay, but great question. Thank you, Takanona, for joining the show tonight. All right. Well, let's move on to the second question of tonight's show, which is there a best time of year to visit your hometown? 日本語で故郷を訪れるのに大切な時期はありますか？ Comments. You have 4 minutes. All right. Okay, so Joanna, is there a good time to visit your hometown? Or what was the question? I think the question was, is there a best time of year to visit your hometown?
Yeah, I would say in April or May, which would be the summertime in our country, and in my hometown as well, because not because of the weather, because the weather is quite hot, and if you're from a cold country, you might not be able to tolerate it. But we have a water festival at during that time of the year, so it's really fun. It's basically the Burmese New Year, so
Wow.
we splash water at each other and nobody can get mad at each other. So that's a really fun festival that we have, not just in my hometown, but the entire country.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I really hope I can visit then. That sounds so much fun. I love water gun fights and splashing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Win says it must be the spring. Do you consider, you were just saying that was that April and May?
Yeah, April and May. We have 3 seasons. We don't call it spring. We call it summer season, rainy season, and winter season.
Very interesting. Yeah. Well, viewers, how about you? Is there a best time of year to visit your hometown? Please let us know in the chats or in the comments. Kanza Win is from Mandalay and said the spring. But I wonder if, by spring, maybe that's kind of like spring here is like, April, May. I guess it could possibly same time as you. Um, Okada says, always Tokyo is very attractive, but summer season was too hot recently. Yeah. Almost like all Japanese people, it's like not visiting in the summer. Want to sweat? It's a good season to come.
Yeah.
Armin says, I think all seasons, because maybe every season, you could say, I think every season is good. K Workshop says, the best month to visit my hometown is October because it's not too hot and there's a big festival. What festival are you talking about? There are a lot of festivals in Japan. Are there a lot of festivals in your hometown?
Yeah, there is because we have a festival for every month actually.
That's amazing. Are they kind of like, are they unique festivals?
Yeah, because most people in our hometown, our country is a Buddhist country, so we have it. It's related to religion, and every we have holidays every full moon, and some of them are more famous. Some of them are a little less well known. Like the Water Festival is really famous, and we have a long holiday. But some of them are just a 1 or 2 holiday, and people don't really know that much about them.
It's a really cool custom to have a festival every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, let's move on to the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. You have 4 minutes. Okay, and if it's tough thinking of a question, here are some questions. They're kind of small, so it might be hard to see, but lots of great questions that you can ask Joanna and me. And of course, you can use your own original question as well. Do you wanna ask me a question, Joanna, about my hometown?
Yeah. Is it like how is it a really cold country?
Yeah, good question. It might seem like it
A
because I'm
cold
like so
city.
hot. I will get to your question. Hiromi Okada says, I visited Bangkok several years ago. That was very interesting. Yeah, so my hometown, kind of the elevation is, well, actually, the elevation is high, maybe about like 1,000 meters, and uh, latitude is quite high too. And so it's not, like, it's not super high, but it's quite high latitude. And so it's very dry. And in the winter, it has the interesting thing is the weather varies. Like daytime can be very hot and nighttime very. And so It's interesting. I'll get to it more. We have some questions. The workshop says Maebashi Matsuri Festival. I joined it as a vertical flute player when I was a child. Sounds great. All right. Takesh says, I've heard that Thailand is very humid. Is it true?
It is. It's super humid. It's really hot, but then about like every week it would rain like once a week because after it gets super hot, it will rain,
Yeah.
and yeah, it gets quite moist and humid.
I can't imagine, but my image is, if I was there and if it was really humid and hot, and if it started to rain, I might like just go outside without an umbrella and just like, oh, thank you for the rain.
Yeah, it is really nice when it rains because it kind of cools everything down.
Here, after it rains, uh, then it just becomes. It feels like it's more humid. It's crazy. Okay, so Charming says, I think Thai silk is very beautiful. How about Joanna?
Yeah, it is really beautiful. The Thai traditional dresses, I see people wear it on special occasions, and I think it's really beautiful. But it's also quite difficult to wear it in this weather because it might get overwhelming.
You in Myanmar, do they have similar dresses?
Yeah, we have. It's a little difficult to explain because we have a lot of ethnicities, and each ethnicity has their own traditional clothing. But we have like the main Burmese traditional clothes, and yeah, people try to make it uh, fitting with the weather because sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. So yeah, you can Google it. It's very pretty.
Sounds very interesting. All right. Well, Hiromi Okada says, "Can everyone dance the Thai dance?" I watched so beautiful dance performance by ladies. She's talking about a traditional Thai dance.
Yeah,
You,
I think it's quite difficult because they move really gracefully and very like you have to take a class. I think.
wow. So not everyone. Yeah, I can imagine that. So Kansa Vin says, "What is the most memorable thing about your hometown?"
Memorable thing.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, kind of the strongest memory you have of your hometown.
Um, for me, I would say that my hometown is kind of like a bicycle city
Wow.
because people like to ride their bikes or motorbikes. And because we have that moat and that palace around it, it's just really pretty. And people like to, wherever we go, we like to go with our bikes or motorbikes.
Mm,
And it's different from other cities and other hometowns because in the capital city or in the other crowded city, Yangon, people just like to take cars and buses, but we prefer bikes.
for bikes too. I have
Yeah.
actually. I use a bicycle and I use the train, and sometimes I guess you could say I use my wife too because she has a car. So that's how I get around. But for me, about my hometown, the most memorable thing is the weather. It's so dry. And the summer
Mm.
season, it's so nice to go outside. I, it's very easy to get sunburned too. The weather is so nice. Everyone likes to go outside. It's not. I don't have good skin for uh, you know, get like you know just super red. So it's a little dangerous. But and then in the winter, on the flip side, it's very dry but so cold at night. So yeah, that's my hometown. Okay, let's move on to the last question of tonight's show, which is, in your lifetime, how has your hometown changed? 日本語で、あなたの生涯で故郷はどのように変化しましたか? Oh, please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. All right. K Workshop says, I often ride an off-road motorcycle. I'd like to ride a motorcycle in Thailand someday. Joanna, do you recommend that?
Yeah, I do. People ride a lot of bikes here as well, but you have to have a license.
I see. You think could people get an international license?
I'm not sure about the city, like inside the city, because my school is a little outside the city, and the university police, they give us kind of like like they allow us to ride around the school, like to our apartment and to our schools. They allow that without a license.
I see. Nice. All right. Well, I'll start the timer. So you guys have 4 minutes to answer the question, which was, in your lifetime, how has your hometown changed? So, what do you think, Joanna, about your hometown? How has it changed in your lifetime?
Well, it has developed a lot. We now have a lot of supermarkets and a lot of places that people can visit. But I would say that most recently, I would like to spread awareness that my hometown had a terrible, terrible earthquake, a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, which not only affected my hometown, but it affected the entire country actually,
Wow.
because it even shook here in Bangkok because of that earthquake. So it destroyed a lot of buildings, and we're reconstructing at the moment, and there are a lot of organizations that are looking for donations. So I would um, I would like to spread awareness about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so shocking when it happened. And yeah, that's like, I think, like a lot of outside media, like outside countries, don't get a lot of information about Myanmar.
Yeah, because we are currently under the military's rule, and there are a lot of political crises going on. And the current dictator, they can't really take care of whatever's happening to the civilians. They're just taking care of whatever happens to the government.
Wow.
So people are just trying to take care of themselves and save their own lives, I would say.
So sorry. It's very sad to hear. And thanks so much for telling us about it. It's kind of like, even it's not in the news, much, like in Japan or the US, other countries, but it's definitely something that I think, I'm sure it'd be very, easy to find out information about it. So
Yeah.
Naomi Okada says, I'm so sorry to hear about the huge earthquake in your hometown. Can't imagine. I live in Guma. Guma, Japan is quite like inland, and so we feel the earthquakes, but they're not, they're not like Japan, and so
Yeah. And I think it's uh, people don't really know how to what to do during an earthquake because yeah, the government doesn't really give that good of an education. So it's actually a reoccurring earthquake. It happens every 100 years because the country is we actually have a big fault in the middle of the country. So it happens every once every 100 years, but the government wasn't able to warn us about it. So there were more damage than it should have been. Yeah.
always in Japan, they have a long history of earthquakes here too, and so I think they've become like really good at building like buildings that are good at withstanding earthquakes.
Yeah.
So that'd be great if some engineers in Japan could go to Myanmar and help teach, their kind of how they build
Yeah.
the buildings. I'm always surprised. Like, we have big earthquakes and like my building's shaking and stuff, and then it's like the buildings are fine.
Yeah. That's really, really impressive.
Yeah, some of the buildings look like they would not withstand an earthquake, and so I think they dig. I think I've seen in some construction sites the foundation is like very deep in the earth.
Yeah.
All I've gained while living here. Very deep foundations. Uh, all right. Well, if you're still typing, you are welcome to share your answers in the chat or in the comments anytime. I know this was kind of a tough question about like how your hometown has changed in your lifetime. Hometown has grown about 300%. Like, like they build new houses. Like there's not as much land as there used to be, and so new houses have like very, very, very small yards, very condensed now compared to like when I was a child. Lyle says, "Hi, Joanna. Uh, people I know are disappearing more and more. It's because it's over 50 years when I leave my hometown." Well, sorry to hear that, Yo, but that is a sign that you've lived a long time. Like my grandmother became very depressed. Like in her, many people she knew, you know, started to pass away. Let's appreciate. I always think it's like sometimes growing old. There's a lot of sad things, but there's a lot of happy things too. Takesh says, "I have moved 6 times, but not to such a large area." Interesting. It's a lot of moving. 6 times. Okay, well, let's move on to the last section of tonight's show. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. You have 4 minutes. Okay, so you have one more chance to ask Joanna a question and or me. So please ask us your questions by writing them in the chat. In my hometown, in America, pretty much everywhere in America, putting up Christmas lights is a popular tradition in December. And so sometimes my mom gave me the duty to put up the Christmas lights. Always like after school too, and so in the evening kind of. And putting up Christmas lights, it's very tough to do like with wearing gloves. And so I'd have to take the gloves off and put these lights up around trees at night. And it was so, so cold. That's one thing I do not miss about my hometown. Is there
Yeah,
anything?
I've heard of Christmas, like people putting up Christmas lights, but I've never seen anyone do that, or I've never done that myself. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is an interesting tradition, and like some people, some people don't put up any lights. People like my family, we put up some lights, and some people are like they go crazy. They put up like their whole yard and house are covered in lights. Interesting. But is there anything you don't miss about your hometown?
Well, I would say Currently, before I came here to Thailand, ever since 2021, yeah, like during the COVID, yeah, I would say yeah, during the COVID, we got um, under a military dictatorship. So I will definitely not miss that, but we're all trying to get rid of them, I would say. So I just hope that they go away quickly and we get the freedom and democracy that we deserve.
Are they, is it kind of, is the military kind of like, do they do like the same thing as like the police would do in other countries?
Yeah, so the police and yeah, the military, they're all on the same team, I would say. And some soldiers and some policemen, the people that are against them, they've left their jobs. But because they do that, the military arrests them, so they have to run away to other countries. And also, whoever tries to oppose them gets killed, or yeah, the police would go into people's houses to look for posters and like if we're supporting any other leaders then they would kill us, and yeah, they're bombing cities, burning villages. It's just horrible.
Sorry to hear that too. That's, can't imagine. Well, Charming says, what kind of food do you recommend in your country?
I There's a very famous traditional food that we have in Myanmar. It's called tea leaf salad. In Myanmar, it's lapetau, which is basically a salad with tea leaves. But we also have some nuts and beans in it. So we would just mix all that together, put some chili and garlic and some sour like lime or lemon, and just
Hmm.
mix it all together and eat it. And it's really great.
Sounds fantastic. I love beans too. So I eat a lot of tofu nowadays in Japan. Like a soybean thing, and then sometimes chili beans too. Maybe that's a perfect food for me.
Yeah.
My says, I love fruits. Are there any fruits you like?
Yeah, I love it. It depends on the my mood, I guess, because I like different kinds of food. But currently, I really like guava.
Or like in a like smoothie or something? How
Yeah, I like it. I like to eat it just as a fruit, or it's nice as a smoothie too.
nowadays I used to eat more fruits and drink like fruit juices, but these days I've cut down a lot. And basically, the only fruit I eat nowadays is frozen blueberries.
Oh,
I love to put some frozen blueberries in plain yogurt, and that's kind of my after meal dessert. Have you tried frozen blueberries?
no, I've seen it in movies, but I do want to give it a try.
Yeah, it's I'm in a like a hot weather country. It might be a great food to I don't know. But anyways, that's my recommendation. That's my fruit. Okay, well, if you're still typing, you can continue and you can share your questions in the chat or in the comments after the show. All right, well, that's the end of tonight's show. Thank you so much for joining Joanna and me, and especially thank you, Joanna, for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me as well. It was a really fun session.
It looks like K Workshop posted something in Thai. Can you see it?
I can't. I actually can't see
No
the chat.
problem. If I had to guess, it probably means thank you.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
even if I could see it, I actually can't read Thai.
Oh
So
wow. So we have to after the show, we'll have to go and check. Hey, Hiromi Okada says thank you very much. Thank you, Hiromi, for joining us. All right. Now, one thing I'd like to say before we finish that Joanna is not just a student at Rancid University, but she is also a volunteer at a great organization called Glory Academy. It looks like a very cool organization. Carmen says thank you, Joanna. Joanna, could you tell us a little bit about Glory Academy?
Yeah, so I've been volunteering there since last year, 2024 October, and it's a nonprofit youth organization based in Mandalay, Myanmar, my hometown. And usually we do a lot of educational webinars, free webinars, where scholarship winners would share their experience and tell people on how to get admitted into certain universities. Because in my country, a lot of people are trying to look for foreign universities to get into. So we do a lot of webinars on that and share knowledge on education. And because we're based in Mandalay, we're doing a lot of fundraisings for the earthquake. Currently, there are a lot of people that needs new homes, and also not just building new homes, but it costs a lot to destroy the homes that can no longer be lived in. So a lot of people need money for that. So we're doing a lot of fundraising. So you can check out that Facebook page, and if you want to donate or if you want to help, you could go ahead and do that.
Thank you so much for telling us about it, because I think a lot of people sometimes they worry, like, is this a good organization to support or not? So having a first-hand experience, like someone with like first-hand knowledge like you, is very beneficial.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, tonight I'm gonna do the Language Study Club live stream from 9:30 p.m. So if there's anyone who wants to study more, you are welcome to join that. Says thanks a lot, and YO says thank you so much. Good night. Probably you too. She says too, so I'm guessing good night, you too. Us too. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for inviting me. And thank you so much for all the participants and the questions too.
Yeah, everyone, did a great job. That was fantastic. Well, have a great night, all the viewers. Have a great night, and I hope let's keep in touch and
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone.